often Oscar movies are those overhyped movies with a true story they try to make on a deeper level, but in the process, the real entertainment value is thrown straight into the trash can. With this movie, you do not see a true story as you do in Killers of the Flower Moon, but you still see the same overhyped movie that really is just an okay movie at best. While the movie does not have the same pacing issues as Killers of the Flower Moon, where the movie starts well but then takes on a drag part, it is still the same problem where you really lack a standout act. People of course label Emma Stone as a formidable actor in this movie, but I really like to see that act, as I don't think it is that formidable. She plays this mentally ill patient that really is a creation from a dead human, and while it may feel different as an act than what you see from DiCaprio on Shutter Island and from Keira Knightley in A Dangerous Method, who are both mental patients in those respectable movies, they both do better acts than Emma Stone in this movie. She got the award for Best Actress for her role in this movie, but I think the award could easily go to Vanessa Kirby for her role as Josephine in Napoleon, Florence Pugh for her role in Oppenheimer, which was not even nominated. However, my favorite among the nominees, if we deal in the more realistic fashion, would be Lily Gladstone as Molly, DiCaprio's wife in The Killers of the Flower Moon. I think she really outshines Emma with her facial expressions, her ability to play sick, and the way she acts. But still, Emma got the award, probably because she is the more known actor, and I felt she deserved another one, just like the way they think she deserved it for La La Land. Of course, that small group of people that really decides who they want to give an Oscar or not. For the movie itself, it is very similar to this director's other movies, just like The Lobster and in The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Yorgos tries to make these more strange, sinister movies, and while we certainly see some sinister stuff happening in the movie, it is not the same somber mood as he tries to create in his other movies. The movie lies somewhere between an adventure drama movie with some cringe moments in between, where some of them are funny, but not all of them. The core of the problem, of course, is that just like in the Lobster movie, the movie is lacking of the real explanation of, for instance, how Emma Baxter really came alive and how it all worked. It just feels like one of those concept movies with a bad execution, where it is just like a free, unstructured will runs its course. Because you are really more interested in the beginning, and although it being in black and white creates this feeling of curiosity in your mind as you watch the opening minutes, it is all drenched away in the second part where it is all about sex. Maybe the director tries to show how sex and the act of being vulnerable, how they really can affect the human mind, as that is very much the case with his character played by Mark Ruffalo, Duncan Wedderburn. But the concept itself, it does wane away quite far in the second part, but perhaps it is the sexual adventure of world discovery that really is the case. And maybe people just like to see movies drenched in sex these days. Of course, Emma's character is one we really haven't seen before, but that does not mean that the movie also could have been better if it hadn't gone so off the rails when it comes to the true meaning. I would like to know more of the background of how this character called God, played by Willem Dafoe, really decided to make this creation of his, which became Emma Baxter, rather than it already being made in the first place, because the movie leaves you with a lot of questions and plot holes, which you get some answers to in the second part, but not all of them. The movie still has some value for a decent performance by Willem Dafoe. It really does try to get a different spin on his act in this one, and while it is no standout act either, it is still enjoyable to see Dafoe as this strange monster-like man that speaks in a Scottish accent. It is not one of his best roles, but it is still a lot better than Emma Stone, and the same can be said about Mark Ruffalo. So why do people like this movie? Where do I strike it as the real core point of it being overrated? Well, it may be that it is just a very different movie that you do not see a lot of these days, just like in Arrival, which is another overrated sci-fi movie, or it may be the director Yorgos, who surely has gained a following after his strange style of making movies, such as in the movies I mentioned earlier. While it is not the strange somber tension as in those movies, it is still that strong desire to be different. But in my opinion, that strong desire to be different is what has created another mid movie from Yorgos, and it is easily one of the most overrated Oscar movies of all time. And I will give it a 5 out of 10.